So, sorry about that. Cleaning the lens. Did it help? Hey, focus. Look at that. So, first off, I want to say I'm happy to see Darrin out and about, giving his sutures or steri strips some air. I'm glad to see that he's doing as well as he's doing. I guess it's amazing how well he's doing. So, happy to see that. Good to see the grandfather of the garage doing well. So, a video for him to watch. And anybody else, you can watch too, even if your name's not Darrin. You can watch if your name rhymes with Darrin also, like Sharon or Karen. Brakes. Brake fluid in the paint cup, brake fluid just everywhere. Because I split the end of my, can you see? Yeah, split the end of my brake line. It's a brake line that I made, so it could have had a botched flare. I had a slow leak. It's like, oh gee, what's wrong? I hadn't replaced that rear flexible line. So like maybe the nipple in there got tired. As you know, 40-something-year-old nipples get tired. So, yeah. So, alright. I don't know if we're going to be able to see anything, but I'll try. Here's my old flare. This is the one I botched. And, you know, of course, now it doesn't look too bad. Oh, yeah, there we go. Asymmetrical, hardly anything on one side, and heavily lipped on the other side. And I think I have a crack in there somewhere. You don't see it when you loosen it up because the pipe tenses back up and closes it. But it's asymmetrical. So that was a bad flare. So I cut off the knurled bit from, you know, where it gets gripped by the flaring tool. And I was going to put my flaring tool, oh yes, I bought a flaring tool. So this one is in better shape than the one that I borrowed. But anyway, yes, good to have a flaring tool. Now I can do this whenever I want. And I don't have to go borrow some used piece of crap. So, I did some tests. Let's see if I can get the, So, there's a crappy flare. You can see I tore up the metal on it. That was one end. And the other end, this end didn't even get a flare. I was like, oh crap. But, it was also bent. I didn't think that bend would matter that much, but it did. So when the end of the line is sticking out on the flaring tool, it's at an angle and not straight. So bend, bad practice. This was my second practice. Well, I guess this would actually be the third practice, because the other one has two ends to it. And practice number 4. That's not metal, it's thread from my jeans. Get off that. So, focus. So this one is good. All smooth, wonderful feeling. This one is good. All smooth, wonderful, all symmetrical. So after 2 successes on a straight piece of line, I decided to go ahead and do it for real. I had undone my clamps on my brake line all the way back to there. Pulled the brake line down and had the end of it out here so that I could sit down in my rolly chair and use the flaring tool. I used oil. Everywhere there was metal touching metal, I put a drop of oil. And actually that made a big difference too. And I don't know if this is true or not, but I changed the order in which I tightened these nuts down on the flaring tool. I had that one kind of loose, put this on tight enough just to hold the line so I could adjust the height. Then I tightened this one down, then that one, and I seem to have successful flaring with that. I don't know if it makes a difference. It seemed to make one for me, so I guess it's a superstition for me, if this works. So everything's all clamped back up. I've got the reservoir filled with fluid. No, I don't have a vacuum line bleeder. I wish I did, but, priority first. Got this tool. So now I'm going to have to wait till I've got a partner to help me bleed the brakes and see if I've got a leak. I did fill the reservoir. I don't know how long it's going to take any leak to manifest itself. Probably a while since the whole thing's full of air. But before I was getting a leak from there, just gravity. So anyway, I'm dying to drive Louise, and this is the thing that's been keeping me from doing it. Everything that I had done to it to work on it, fix it before, was just making it worse. So biting the bullet, getting my own tool, and listening to some more advice, I think I got it. I was also down in a funk because brakes kind of scare me because they're the most important part on the car. And for some reason in my funk, I was using that as an excuse to have somebody else do it. After thinking about it some more, no, that's every reason to learn to do it, to get this. So I'm not going to take it out on the road until I'm sure I have no leak. So this actually will be the first time, if it doesn't leak, the first time it hasn't had a leak in the whole time that I've had the car here. So, I've been swimming uphill battle here. How's that for a mixed metaphor? So actually, if this goes well, I want to replace the other brake lines I did on the rear, which were prefab brake lines, but I didn't run them right. But I want to make sure that I got this and that I can do it reasonably well before I take something that's working off the car. But I could definitely improve it. So anyway, long-winded explanation. I'm so happy to have that done. And it didn't take as long as I thought. So, long-winded video. Anyway, keep getting better, Darrin. Don't overdo it. Although I'm sure you're going to feel a whole lot better without having the risk of your discs chopping your spinal cord in 2 pieces. That would be terrible. No flaring tool would fix that. Not even oil. Pretty sure.